Just working all the shadows down here, building up to a soft shade, a good transition between the lights and darks, while permanently checking the reference to be sure I don't miss anything or overdo some area. Okay, so now I'm beginning working on the mouth, doing the darkest part first. Like this, I won't worry about the stencil and then I can move on to the light shading then. Working really carefully, trying not to go over the lines. Make sure when you are working areas like this to tell the client to stay still. A sudden move might ruin some details. Here is ink from the 4th cup with only 10% black. I do just a light shade on the teeth, on the ones in the back. The ones in the front I leave them untouched, and later on I will add some white dots where the teeth shine in the picture. I work very slowly on these parts. It may look like I go a few times in one place and nothing remains, but it's the process of building up to the tone I want. I'm working here with 8.5 volts with 5 round liner, as I do with most of the little details. Doing some shading on the lip here, doing a little bit darker in the back, and then going lighter and lighter. Leaving some blank area here for the shine of the lip, adding in the end some white. In my opinion, the lips and the eyes are the only parts where the white is needed on a portrait. Moving on to another important feature of the portrait, the nose. Maybe the most difficult one to tattoo. Comes together great, but only in a good balance between the edge, the shadow underneath the nose, the shading on both sides and the highlights in the middle. I'm beginning with a soft line, defining the edges of the nose. Like this, I have a border in between. Then I can move on to the shading. I like to do the shading on the entire nose and then check reference to see if the shading is in the tone with the rest of the face. If I think it needs more, I go one more time over it. All this time I'm working with light gray. I don't want to get it too dark too fast. As I said before, patience is the key. Constantly remind yourself to work so slowly. Even if you feel like you're putting the ink in the skin too slow, sometimes is exactly the way you need it to do. try it a few times, even if it feels wrong or even if it feels like it takes forever, but then check the results and then you can see, deciding if the outcome is better than your previous work or not. Now the eyes, starting with edging the iris, leaving some spots for the highlights. The upper and then the lower eyelid, also the eyelashes, doing it only with black. I really need the contrast there. In the reference there is no difference between the iris and the pupil, so I won't make it either. So I just fill it with black carefully so I don't make it over the highlights. Just some small lines here for the eyelashes, not too thick, just to look like a small shading underneath the eye.